Hello, lovies. This is Christina with Karma's Eye Psychic LLC, Mystical Charms DBA here on Universal Spirit Podcast. And we are entering season 12. And season 12, we are going to be talking about haunted doll tales. Throughout this season, we're going to go over my process, how I pick the dolls, where I get my dolls. And the real main catalyst of this series is that I sold every single item in my shop, like on my online shop, mysticalcharms.com. I sold at least one of every single item, and I have thousands of items, but I never sold a single haunted doll. And every doll comes with pictures, it comes with their story, it comes with the energy that I feel around them, and they sat in the shop for years, though they're not any less interesting. So I decided to put their stories here on my podcast. Now, I have 26 haunted dolls in total. Okay, because like I said, I go through a process to pick them. I'm not just picking up any doll. And since May happens to have 31 days, we're going to get a doll a day. So we're going to be posting pretty much every day in the month of May about each haunted doll. And each doll is going to have their own link to it, because each doll I talk about, I'm going to slowly put them on back onto my website, because I took them all off my website. So I'm just going to talk about one doll at a time, and by the end of May, hopefully they are more interesting to buyers and understanding the process of why people have haunted dolls. So welcome, seeker. Take a deep breath and step softly into the unseen. So, for centuries, dolls have been more than simple playthings. They've been protectors, offerings, mirrors of the soul, and sometimes something else entirely. Some are said to carry memory, others intention, and a few are believed to hold spirits that never truly left. You may have heard whispers of objects like the Annabelle Doll or the watchful presence of the Robert the Doll. But not all vessels are famous. Many sit quietly in homes, on shelves, in collections, just waiting, and holding, and observing. In this space, we don't just tell their stories, we listen. So you may be wondering, what makes a doll haunted? And that varies from person to person, because in general, physical objects can hold energy. And since dolls are an object of sympathetic magic, or even just a mimic of a human form, having eyes, arms, legs, hair, clothing, some of them making sounds and even moving in ways that mimic real human movements. In my opinion and in my research, what makes a doll haunted is the energies that have been passed through them, or and the places and spaces where they have dwelled. That could be places full of people. It could be places with not so many people. They could be left in storage. They could be abandoned houses, or just anywhere, left out on the street, lost in the drain. However, it's just that it will embody all of the energies of where it's been, if it has been anywhere. Especially if it hasn't been many places, it would absorb pretty much all the energy of sitting still for years and years and years, and absorbing the history and the spiritual essences of the space where it is. And if things were to happen around them, say it is in fact disaster, say it is in fact good things like celebrations, right? that doll, who is like a human observer, would then ingest all of that energy to stick onto it, just the same way as it sticks onto us as living, breathing, intentional creatures. Since dolls are made with many different intentions, because dolls, you can find dolls for anything. They're not just for children, they're for everyone. And whatever their intention is, right, that is the strongest force behind that energy. Some may even argue that, you can even add clowns, like clown dolls, to the list of haunted dolls, or in the same genre of haunted dolls. Really, it's considered a haunted object, right? But the ones that mimic human beings is the focal point. So where in particular do I get my dolls? So in this series, I will be speaking about one particular doll that I did not intend to pick up. In fact, that's the very first one I will talk to you about. Her name is Cecile the Haunted Menace. She ended up in my stuff. Did not ask for her. She just ended up in my home, and not by choice. However, when I'm actually looking for a haunted entity or a haunted vessel, it really is if they can provide some type of justice to the owner. I'm always seeking getting justice in some way. I go to collect dolls that are comforting, that are, have interesting energy, that have upbeat energy, might even have, very slow and, melancholy type energy, to really be in the presence of someone who wants to feel their energy, hear their story, and even just validate their energies, okay? Because they're always good for whoever takes them home, okay? Also, I do speak about, gifting haunted dolls to people if they happen to be your enemy, and a person has caused lots of chaos in your life, to gift them a doll that will, in fact, return that chaos back into their life. So when I'm searching for it, I'm looking for a sense of justice, giving a doll to somebody who might be on their way, to passing away, a doll that will help them feel ease and love at the end of their days. I have one of those as well. But primarily, I get my dolls from Facebook Marketplace. I don't go too far. I think the farthest I've ever gone, because I live here in New Jersey, in the United States, the farthest I've gone in New Jersey, I would say, would be Elizabeth, New Jersey, and I'm coming from Freehold, so that's a bit of a hike for a doll. But it's only when I feel the energy, and yes, you can feel the energy through a screen. Sometimes the energy just speaks to you, and it tells you all about itself. You're very highly spiritual, highly aware, highly cognizant, okay, very clairvoyant. It takes no effort really to really listen to the energy of what it's projecting onto you. And this comes to the next question on how I pick my dolls. I pick them, like I said, for a sense of justice, not just the way they look. Sometimes their looks can be off-putting. Sometimes their looks can be fairly typical. And some people that I get them from, the reasoning for, getting rid of the doll, their energy toward the actual object also comes into account as well. If you just close your eyes and just listen, they will speak to you if you're listening carefully enough. They are considered to be your astral family, that they're sharing their energy with you and you are sharing their energy with them. Both ways you're being validated. Both your spirits are being validated. And of course, I have to say that it's all alleged and for entertainment purposes only, that the stories that I come up with are in fact through creative mediumship. They can sometimes change your life for the better or change your life for the worst. If you ever come across a haunted doll, do you know if it was intentionally put in your path, or did the haunted doll find you? I want to talk about this. I want to know what your experiences are in regards to haunted dolls. Have you ever owned one? Have you ever come in contact with one? Have you ever been in the presence of a haunted doll where you were the only one that knew it was haunted? That's what we are going to be talking about. All right, lovies. Next, we're going to be talking about each individual doll. So join me in the next episode as we continue the